Welcome everyone, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. I have a Divine Masculine Twin Flame read for you. Just a little bit of clearing. Take a deep breath, guys. So today is January 21st, 2020. The 21 is the world, it's completion of the cycle. The day adds up to 26/8, which is the Page of Wands, which is all about being inspired, being young again, wanting to go out and start something new, whether it's something you're passionate about or possibly a romance or a date. Going out into the world to explore. It's like the explorers going out and discovering new things, new worlds. Okay, sorry about that. So we have the read was cut, the SIRIAN STARSEED deck anyway, the main deck for the read at 9 o'clock right on the dot. So the 9 of the Hermit with a lot of source energy backing it up. Definitely some sadness coming up. The divine feminine energy I was getting is, whereas usually I'll see the feminine on the left and the masculine on the right. The feminine was sitting right on the center line, like not wanting to choose sides, but a little bit solemn today. I'm not seeing the masculine around, and just the feminine energy going deep within. The read was done at 9:21, so here we have 21 again, of completion of the world. And the major arcana here was Shadow, the Star, and Ascension. Shadow's like the devil, and Ascension's like the world. And then the only court cards that came up for the masculine today were the Page of Wands. That was the only one in the main read, and then before the read, the Queen of Cups came up. We had two wands, one sword, 3 cups, and 2 pentacles. So mostly cups today. So more emotions and feelings coming into the day for the masculine, more of the feminine coming in. And then the numbers here, we had double 7s, but we also had triple 4s and triple 1s. So 7 and 1, 4. We also had double 5s in a lesser sense, as well as the sequence 4, 5, 6, 7, and the numbers 1 and 10. Begin again. But a lot of strong number vibrations. 6 was the only number that came up without a partner. And of course 6 is love. But the code line number was all about the number 5. That's all that was there. It was all about love, partnership, patience, and karmic completion today. Love, partnership, patience, and karmic completion. So this is that transition of the 10 to the 1, right? Already into the new cycle. Not ending, but new beginnings. As we come into the spring in just a month or two. And the code line about love, partnership, patience, and karmic completion. And that number 5 of expansion, of change, of freedom. We have a message all about the challenge of the 5 of chalices, which deals with grieving, loss, not able to let go of the past, or standing at the Y in the road, not letting go of that third baton to either finish the race or start over, making a choice, allowing the flow. So it was kind of simple today. The temperature of the foe, so whatever your foe is, or your enemy, so to say, what is the temperature of that today? Where are you with that? Saying that the divine feminine is grieving the Jesus energy, which is the divine masculine template. All right, so it's the feminine grieving the masculine today, the old masculine. Also, French fries were coming up, and firefighter, which is funny because then I listened to a Jesus channeling today, which brought up French fries. And that was after I'd written this, so it was pretty funny. So food and the body image was coming up in that video that I watched. It was an old video of channeling Ananda and Jesus. So French fries, so that FF acronym was coming up. French fries and firefighters, as well as Bob Fosse was coming up and all that jazz. Fast forward was coming up. And the human, Sex Anonymous was coming up again. Suicide attempt with that acronym comes up. Also the Hitler troops, Saudi Arabia, anything that's SA, San Antonio, South Africa, South America, South Australia, South Asia. Anything going south is coming up. Fast forwarding through the human condition, what the human says, the human sass, the divine feminine grieving and not letting go of the divine masculine of the old, and needing to go through karmic completion, allow the cycle to complete. The French fries is the fat on your body, right? When you're looking for protection because you don't feel safe. The firefighter is looking for drama, right? When you want to be at war with yourself. The need for the feminine to accept where the masculine is today and where she is today. That everything is as it's supposed to be until karmic completion, which is coming up today. That just to allow things to play out naturally the way they're supposed to. And remember, as within, so without. So if you're looking for French fries, then you're looking for protection. So what is it that you need protection from? What is the wound inside that needs to come up? And the firefighter too, if you're looking for drama, if you're looking for action, what is the war within that you can't accept or allow? What is the protection against yourself? What is the war within? The accepting what I cannot change. And so of course the AA Serenity Prayer, who's by Reinhold Niebuhr or Neighbor, 1892 to 1971. And he started this in his sermons around 1934 and then adopted by AA in the 12-step program. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And some more lines that came up in the quote. In 1944, this was also placed in a book of prayers and services for the armed forces, and Reinhold, published it in a magazine column as well in 1951. 44 being the Four of Cups, the mastering, grounding, and integrating of love. And then 1951, 51 being that King of Swords, the being in your truth and speaking your truth. So variations of that were living one day at a time, enjoying one moment at a time, accepting hardship as a pathway to peace, taking, and I'm paraphrasing some of this, taking as Jesus did this sinful world as it is, not as I would have it. Trusting that you will make all things right if I surrender to your will, so that I may be happy in this life and in the next. Amen. So again, the fat protection from self. So that's the fat protection is literally like a rejection. So you reject yourself, so the fat clings to you to protect you from yourself. And then drama is the war within, so looking for a fight within self. And that's why you're looking for protection, because you're looking to start a war with yourself, and so then your other self is looking for protection from the one who wants to attack. Okay, so starting off this read, we have the Page of Wands. It's all about the Page of Wands and the Page of Cups today, okay? The Page of Wands is here and upright, and so is the Page of Cups. We have the Four of Wands, the Four of Cups, and then the Queen of Cups beneath it. So inspired by a move, an ending a marriage, or a visit, whether it's going to somebody else's house or people coming to visit with you, possibly with a friend, grounding and integrating an offer of love from the Queen of Cups. The Page of Wands, looking back, going back, or living in the past, provides momentum forward, that fast forward, now to accept the things you cannot change, and journey on and lead the way, with courage to make a difference where you can in detoxing chaos from your life. The hermit sheds light on changes at home. The wounded warrior sharing, giving away, settling out. The wounded warrior at the full moon eclipse, inspired to share, to give, to settle out, to move or clear out the home, or visit or have visitors, like I said already. The Empress reversed with good news, though, and success, attention, leading the way, back in the saddle. Back in the saddle, sharing experiences. So even if the Empress comes up in lack, right? So this can be someone who's ill. It can be an older person, right, with Alzheimer's, or just someone who's physically ill as well. It can be someone who's out of control, but someone who's out of control like that, abusing their power. It's all coming from a place of fear, right? So this Empress reversed, having good news come in, success, attention, leading the way, back in the saddle, sharing experiences, war wounds, dark nights, letting go, and allowing the masculine, allowing himself to feel this lack, even if this Empress reversed is in his space, whether it's referencing himself in lack, about a mother or a partner or anyone in his life, a grandmother, an aunt, the divine feminine, whoever it is. The masculine receiving their good news, their success, their attention, leading the way, back in the saddle, sharing his experiences, and as the wounded warrior, his war wounds, his dark nights, letting go of all of it and letting go of that feeling of lack. Possibly losing a parent, a child, or a home, clearing out of your childhood home. The memories, moving to a home and being okay with that so you can carry on free of burdens. Serve in the way that is authentic to you, not the service that you were guilted into. And that was at 10:07, which is the Wheel of Fortune and the Chariot. Not always good to care for someone or something that you are too close to. Attachment can be blinding and binding and painful. Why we allow others in the family who are more This is why we allow others in the family who are more detached from the situation to take over when we are low or not in a space to do it. We're not supposed to stay in that negative energy flow. And then the gnat that was hanging out with me yesterday doing my read was back again today as I was writing right here. The gnat is back, and I felt their nervous energy, which is really funny because I can feel little critters in my house when they're nervous if I come in the room. It's pretty funny to notice that. But the gnat was back, and I was definitely getting nervousness from that energy at 10:10, which is a turn for the better, ×2. The tiny little guy in a big, big world, dust in the wind. Not, or now you see it, now you don't, is coming up. Right? We are just a moment in time, so to truly appreciate each moment. The gnat in my space, you know, should be very afraid of me. I'm much bigger than them, but the gnat just wants to hang out and isn't in fear at all that I might crush them. Bury the old, out of sight, out of mind. Blanket the new. Warm your heart to the idea of what's beyond the glass ceiling, the veil of illusion, the block to your dreams, that your dreams are what are most real if you allow yourself to see them and feel them. And then from Tommy, see me, feel me, touch me, and heal me was coming up. See me, feel me, touch me, heal me. So Major Tom lives for himself, not for his mother. She lives for herself. Inspired to go the distance, but without speed. She's not alone, and she's not in need. I am brave enough to stand beside her and know my own worth, not to outshine her and not to dim my own light, but to allow our light to expand the love, to warm the hearth by the fire, the heart by the flame. That's just something that came up from me. Reaping rewards, daydreaming and what to do next, impatient in need of help to manifest the gold coin at 10:19. And by the way, I am brave enough to stand beside her started going at 10:14 to 15, which is the angel and the devil. Okay? So knowing your weaknesses and your strengths, going into a relationship to share your light with somebody else. Reaping rewards, daydreaming of what to do next, impatient in need of impatient in need of help to manifest the gold coin. The unity consciousness, a higher love, a new life, offering my gold coin, my beauty to others, just as I am. Inspired, and this is speaking as the divine masculine, inspired to journey to offer a new life, to stay optimistic that you're, to stay optimistic about your love life, right? So positive thinking will bring you romance. And also underneath the stay optimistic was children, that children are also affecting your love life. So why are you letting that be? So inspired to journey to offer a new life, to end conflict, battles, competition, casual sexual flirtation, and leaving that behind for a higher love, not ego love. The nightmare of dungeons and basements, porn and torture, sex tapes and suffering in silence, stressed out and purging imprisonment, bad memories like the corners of my mind, rejection and abuse from parents, relatives, and so-called friends, your own poor treatment of others, difficult kids disrespecting you, and the past returning, bringing your fears back. The magician reversed is insecure without tools, angry about what others have done to you, letting go to repair your part in this, no longer waiting for partner or kids to wake up, just to fight, and now ending the conflict at 10:31, which is a turn for the better, and that 5 of Wands, expansion, conflict, fighting, the quest. Looking for someone who wants to do the dance with him. Not Barbie in the basket, not the Animal House drunk, not the girl who flirts with every man, only focusing on her perfect body to prove her worth, her outer strength, or the one who wants to cut me as soon as I look at her the wrong way. No more hiding in the doghouse, or the dog feeling the need to hide under the table, or anything under the table for that matter. Why should anyone have to hide unless playing hide and seek for fun? Forgiveness comes up for the masculine here. It was major today for 96. And beneath that was time out, which is 37, the King of Cups, unconditional love. Take a time out. Reflecting a new life and unconditional love. Forgiving self for being out of control, for being uncommitted, for being imperfect, for being abusive, divorced, resistant to change, for being dead tired, for taking forever to allow things to end, for being abandoned, destitute, exile, left behind, in the cold, injured, limp, bitter to the end. Forgiving self for being broken, broke down, broken up, breaking through, being stuck, unable to move or travel, without a car in a split, or a divide, or lies, or cutting through the BS. Forgiving all of it, the injustice of the battle, always a fight and nothing going right, wanting to break down and cry, tripping up, dropping the facade, the act, the performance, breaking patterns, breaking up, no longer juggling, especially not to make someone else happy who doesn't have faith in me. Choosing the wrong lovers, making a fool of yourself, being an idiot, falling on your face from grace or lacking faith in self. Forgive it all. It's all unfair. But do you want to be right or happy? Fear or love? Ego or allow? Allow yourself to be foolish, to have your heart crushed or screw up and knock yourself off balance. It is the making of you, all, in perfect timing, to peek out of your cocoon, as spring is right around the corner, and then that came back up right here at 10:49, which is the Wheel of Fortune and the 9 of Cups, being happy with self. And that's how you get your wish. Just in time to not appreciate your skin color, right? When we come into the spring, I'm too pale, I'm too white, I'm too black, I need a tan, oh crap, I have to get in a bathing suit. Where's my mask? Hurry up and get it, dear. The masks are your lack of faith, looking to others to show you your worth. Take your power back. You don't need to follow others. Offer your unique prize to end the conflict, the negative game playing. Forgive it all. All your abusers and abandoners did so out of fear, just as you did. Rejection, abandonment, humiliation, betrayal, and injustice, the names of the games. Only has power if you give it to them. At 10:57, the turn for the better of the Wheel of Fortune, and the 57, the heartbreak and separation of it all. The recent past is the Ace of Swords and truth and triumph. After the King of Cups is reversed, conditional love at 8:58, resting, taking a time out, and meditating to get through things. The King of Cups reversed and the King of Pentacles, where the King of Pentacles triumphs because the King of Cups reversed puts conditions on their love. And that may be just him. Love and affection, divinely ordained. The Page of Pentacles reversed, in need of help, money, or an opportunity to receive the truth from their lover, their friend, or their family. The truth of the dysfunction, the abuse and use of money, the power, the business, the lineage, the legacy, at night when the truth is partially illuminated. The Queen of Pentacles reversed and the Page of Pentacles reversed. Mother and child falling right in line with their family tree, the negative aspects of all, and superficial needs, or the fear of homelessness and starvation. His truth, her truth, and the truth of divine love, divination. Perhaps the King of Pentacles had put conditions on love, and perhaps the Queen of Pentacles reversed had drained him financially, spending on her and the kids. Or he offers his truth about a higher love, and she doesn't resonate with him or his truth, her and the child. Maybe the child's just like her, and doesn't believe or resonate with the Divine Masculine or his truth. Maybe she deems his behavior foolish, or her own behavior is foolish, and wearing a mask, eyes wide shut. The foundation here is the shadow reversed. Over the overindulgences, the underindulgences, the antisocial behavior, the gossiping, the third parties, the never-ending party, moving, ending marriage, or the party's just over, burdened by move or burdens, the weight of the world upon your shoulders, and hanging out with the Queen of Cups, feeling guilt and shame for what's been done or not done, hanging out with a negative group, or with a third party, or as a third party, the Queen of Cups moving or visiting with others, hard labor to sit in grief, or at the Y in the road, never reaching the end. That's just torturing yourself. Detoxing all this chaos from your life, the addictions, the codependencies, the messes in your life. The central energy here is the Six of Cups reversed, the negative past or childhood, difficult kids, or the past now returning, working to align to get your ducks in a row, issues at work or a negative group or a third-party interference, or losing money. The Queen of Swords reversed, freaking out verbally at the workplace, explosive, eruption, sudden events and or epiphanies, blowing their top, their crown, or their cover, always with a negative perspective at work, or yelling at the kids, or treating coworkers like children. Or this could be someone breaking out into sudden jealous rage. And that's definitely energy that's coming up here today. The challenge being the Five of Cups. Grieving loss, the regret, the guilt, and the shame. Issues at work or place of co-creation, or family business drain, dysfunction, or financial loss. Final judgment coming out, an announcement, or a wake-up call from the King of Pentacles, now standing in his truth and refusing to budge on it. An announcement about family issues and or childhood or difficult children and rising above, coming out of their slumber of hibernation, right, during the winter. The High Priestess or Viking Princess surrounded by her minions of jealousy, insincerity, and verbal abuse. The King of Pentacles at war with partner and kids, or those who don't use their intuition and are negative all the time, or secrets are out about jealous rages and verbal abuse and his need to protect himself, or using kids as his bodyguards, and that's at 11:23, Justice and the King of Wands. Or the need to protect himself from his own kids or his own siblings. A boss or head of family bringing the hammer down on employees and or kids and grandkids. It's time to wake up and smell the coffee and get back to work. Or coming out about juggling and performing to hide financial loss. Or an offer of love or a friend offering to help out. The King of Pentacles was withholding love and truth, and suddenly blows his cover, prepared for a war or jealous rage or issues having kids at the workplace. Inspired by truth, even if he makes a fool of himself, as all hell had to break loose, and now detoxing after the aftermath of that negative past, difficult kids, or the past returning and challenged by grief. Sudden jealousy and rage of the Chariot in a bold move forward, that's that fast forward. The female bull exits left or is going to prison, or in fear and anxiety of energetic stealing or thieves, being distracted so others can steal from you right under your noses. The Emperor reversed falls on their face from grace or lacking faith in a romantic olive branch that was extended across twisted pillars. Lovers out in the cold, but they had each other, walking away and within to avoid the dark priestess with no intuition, or that the secret is out at night and reflected from the full moon Cancer eclipse, inspiring a romantic tryst. Now is the Seven of Cups reversed, dumping out all attachments that no longer serve. Injustice of being a star, a healer, getting dreams and shining your light, and having to dump stuff you love to recover from exile of a group, and now have to get busy and ride in passionately when stuck in your head and emotions without peace, and falling short of rushing in, feeling a fool, or regarding foolish behavior, not believing in those dreams you once had, or done recovering. Somebody might have gone through a 12-step program or some other kind of step program, and now recovering after finishing those steps, expressing feelings, energetic exchange, or fast-paced communication or travel, being strong in taming the inner beast. Having the courage to change what you can without beating yourself up over what you can't, when it's not time, when things are down or low or slow, when conflict is over and the call to action is heard, in need of help and fear of the needing of help, walking away and within to relinquish that control, hanging out to be wise when lacking faith, and having conditions to love. The Page of Pentacles offers help or a proposal to the King of Swords to come clean or to get clean about sovereign obsession, secret lover, or obsession with being single so no one can control you, obsessed over cutting cords, cutting hair, or cutting threads, or a surgical procedure, splitting hairs, or obsession with being hair-free at 1152, which is Justice and the Queen of Swords. A Sovereign and the Knight of Pentacles together, possibly offering help and sharing with others in need. Soon for the masculine is the Star. So stardom is also a wound coming up here, right? The burden of the star who gets too much attention, or people try to take their light or dim their light because of jealousy and wanting what they have. So soon coming up here is the Star, the Page of Cups, with a bigger offer of love from the Empress reversed, standing up for herself and suffering in silence, or a sister could be coming up here as well, but purging it out, allowing the purge, allowing the cry, loving the child or loving the inner child, or the big love offer that comes in a small package. A message, puppy love, to a performer, love in the stars. Healing, the healer, healer, heal thyself. The Page of Wands is inspired by knowing without seeing, or keeping lack, or mother's death, or illness to themselves. Falling short in an offer to the Page of Cups, or being inspired to find peace through exercise, but also resting when needed. Shining the love light and called to phone home. E.T. makes connection with one touch of his finger and inflamed heart. The innocent heart always knows the truth. Or a mother pays tribute to the child she lost, or that's her own inner child that she lost, finding her love light again. Her gold coin back after giving it away to her children, now giving love to herself. Her inner child, love, comes through in her creativity, which then draws the Page of Wands into his knowing and growing to the Knight of Wands to rush in and help out passions, but it may take more than one try because they may fall short on that first try. A duo, perhaps. He is seeing himself, the masculine, as the Ten of Pentacles reversed, falling from the tree in a twist of fate. Their world upside down, grounding and integrating an offer of love from the sealed divine feminine in their knowing and keeping to themselves in order to find peace. The prisoner of love, healing and forgiving, and then a bold move to ascend, to move or travel. The masculine's called to keep an open mind and true love, that this is a romance of a lifetime. The chariot that holds 2 + 1, no leader in this sleigh, partners in crime, fueled or propelled by the love energy, the prime creator. Out of prime comes all of the colors of the rainbow. A bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down, so that others may follow, the weight of the world upon my shoulders, and back and butt, lovingly distributed across my body, so it never gets to be too much. Around the divine masculine, or how he is seen, is the 7 flames standing up for self on the bridge, for only good tidings to wash over me. Inspired to choose a new path with twin, even if not seeing eye to eye, we always see heart to heart in our sovereignty. And number 17, the star came up here, shining their light. Learning to stand side by side, complementing each other's light, inspired to divine love. The masculine needing to clear blocks about ascension reversed. The fear that you won't ascend. The Knight of Wands reversed player, maybe because of a bad past or a negative past, or things you consider sins. Falling short on energy or holding back desires. Pain and betrayal, and finding peace away from others' pain and suffering, having denied them. The karmic completion, patience, and love partnership comes up for the masculine here, and the Page of Cups, unable to find the words or express their feelings. Frustrated when unable to burn the past, unable to control their third energy. At 12:25 is the Hangman and that Knight of Wands, hanging out to try to be wise, and yet passionately wanting to rush in as well at the same time. The Page of Pentacles, which is the divine masculine's heart in the SIRIAN Starseed deck here, is reversed, where the divine masculine leaves the bat cave to share and or settle out, to come out more of his heart, to open up more. And then the 12:26 of the Hangman and the Page of Wands, hanging out and then having pure inspiration come along, inspired to a date perhaps. And then dealing with settling out with the Dark Priestess or the Realtor, or that their secret is out at night, reflecting his inspiration for romance. The divine masculine's heart opens to stand in his truth, guarding his sunshine, even if its light is a bit dim or drained at this moment. In need of a recharge or a jump start to go out in the sun. In winter frustration, not quite time of new growth, but protecting investment. The Page of Wands and the Page of Cups. The Magician reversed, insecure and in need of tools or help, letting go to repair, fix, or mend for emotional fulfillment or of family happiness. But the King of Wands reversed is unhappy with himself, tired of giving, not wanting to come out of his cave, where his flame always resides, even when in hibernation, fire and ice, at war with frustration, resistance to his own inner flame, to ready self for the Ace of Pentacles, new life. The Queen of Wands reversed, falling away and spreading the word. And this is not coming from me, but I literally was hearing the Wicked Witch is dead, so I don't know who that relates to. It's not going to relate to everybody, but somebody's thinking that. The Page of Wands, detoxing. The Ten of Pentacles reversed, standing up for self, with the truth and triumph about a negative past and or difficult children, challenged by grieving and healing, stardom and dreams, and world incomplete, a need to end a cycle. Done with the steps or someone else's rules, the divine masculine's heart is warm with flame, coming out of Batcave about frustration and the war within, in order to come out the diamond in the rough, ready for polishing. The Page of Wands speaks their big truth, ready to take the fall if needed, detoxing a negative past and letting go of attachments that don't serve anymore, challenged by grief and batons and the whys in the road, and the whys, why me, being questioned by the Ten of Pentacles reversed family, their dysfunction or financial drain or business, or them needing to get off his coattails, stop dimming his light, standing up to the family, the masculine, and or business or establishment in order to complete the cycle and open his heart. -1 flame plus 5 swords equals twin leaving the war within to start a brand new life. And I was getting the twin leaving the war within, but also the campgrounds. So I don't know if somebody's camping. The twin leaving the war within and or the campgrounds to start a brand new life and spreading the word. So that was the read today. And I'm definitely going to pull you some oracle cards here. It's 35. It was just 46, which is the Wounded Warrior and the 6 of Cups. I want to go to my old cards again today. We're going to go with the Ascension deck and the Past Life deck and the Journey of Love. So let's see what comes up. So from the Ascension deck, for everybody watching in the best and highest good of all those concerned, what do we need to know? What do we need to learn? Let's clear all negative energies across all dimensions of time, space, matter, and realities for the highest good of all those concerned. And fill that empty space with only beautiful divine love and diamond crystalline light. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And what is our message here? Take another deep breath, you guys. What is our message from the Ascension deck here? What is the message from this read? What is our takeaway? What do we need to learn? Okay, this came right up. Isis, 38, which is the Queen of Cups, who is in the underlying energy for the read. The Illumined Master Isis was Mara and Lemuria, Isis the High Priestess of Atlantis, Mother of Horus in Egypt, and Mary, Mother of Jesus. She was always overlit by the universal angel Mary, who helped Isis pass her initiations and ascend in each lifetime. This card reminds you of the power of the feminine. Face your challenges with equanimity and courage, knowing you are helped by your angels. Keep your light bright and your energy pure no matter what, and this will enable you to influence many on their ascension path. Remember, there is always a greater plan. The affirmation is, I face my challenges with calm and strength. All right, and that's the challenge, to always stay neutral and calm in a situation, and that is how you will help others. El Moria also wants to come out, which is 44. Very interesting, because my soul number and life lesson number are 38 and 44. El Moria is Koan of the first ray of action. He is helping us with the changes ahead and our opportunities for ascension. He is a member of the White Brotherhood and originates from Mercury. El Moria will soon become the Manu, the perfected man, on whom the new root race of humanity with its 12 strands of connected and active DNA will be based. In drawing this card, you're asked to lead by example, employing the self-discipline, the strength, and integrity of an ascended master. You're reminded to use your power for the highest good. The affirmation being, I stand in my power. Okay, so Isis and El Moria. And then the bottom of the deck is the Moon, number 11, which is justice, which is just truth and balance. The Moon is the causal chakra of the universe and radiates divine feminine energies. Call on it to cleanse your aura and energize you. Remember, the influence of this celestial body is always there, whether you can see it or not. When you're offered this card, you're called on to practice your feminine qualities of love, wisdom, compassion, intuition, inclusiveness, discernment, and oneness. Your guidance is to go within and seek answers from your huge font of wisdom. The Moon will bring you clarity so that you can flow with the current of ascension. The affirmation is, I listen to my divine feminine wisdom. Okay, so now from the Past Life deck. So there's a lot of focus on the feminine today, which is in line with what I saw with my meditation, where just the feminine was there, kind of really being within herself, allowing her to be within herself, being neutral. And that's the feminine within the masculine as well here. All right, so the Past Life deck. Just a couple more shuffles. Okay, what is our message from the past life deck? What do we need to know? What do we need to bring up from the past that's still lingering? What's something good for us to focus on today? It's January 21st, 2020. Okay, patience still. And there's your monk or nun. Okay, to pray, which has to do with meditation. And it's not about a calling to sacrifice. It's a call to love yourself first, right? To go within, to honor yourself. And also to use the closed circuit of the hands together, because that's, you know, your chakras are in your hands, and that allows a closed circuit, building up the energy that you're using within your prayer. We also have leaving your travel that wants to come up. And I always see the pyramids in this card. And this suitcase is very old, right? The old way of packing, the old way of doing things, which is a very heavy load, right? We don't do that anymore because we have wheels. It makes our load much less to carry. And then the farm reverse wants to come up, right? It's not like the old world, right? It's like going back to basics, but in a new way. So let me see what else is coming up with those three cards. The bottom of the deck is the scribe or writer. So the underlying energy is about writing down or journaling, or writing a book or journal, whatever you want to do, making something creative with your writing, lighting a candle, doing it with natural things, perhaps. So let's see if there's any other messages coming from these cards. I'm getting very simple energies here with the colors, just the... I'm being guided because I'm looking down at the Journey of Love deck that I haven't used yet, and this is from yesterday. This was on the bottom of the deck, and it's very much in line with all the colors coming out from the past life deck. To keep it simple, you know, very rooted in the earth with the browns and the greens, of love and the root chakra to keep them very healthy, your heart and your root, to keep all your other chakras in line. And it's like saying to pray, to meditate, you know, take your time alone as a monk or a nun, not to sacrifice, but to honor yourself and travel. But it's saying this is not about traveling down on the farm, right? Travel to your etheric realms, to your higher self. When you're not sure if you should go somewhere or if you should go on a trip, pray on it. When you're in a really good place, you know, when you're in fear, don't make decisions. Make you know, when you're in a much better mood because you're really happy and enjoying yourself, that's when you should take the time to make decisions. I turned this right side up, and it's a little bit blurred along the edges down here, and I was just getting the message that your memories will be starting to fade. Okay, they're starting to fade away. And you notice there's two horses here too, who are not looking at each other. They're doing their own thing. They're in separation, right? Or they're just two sovereigns doing their own thing, but living together, right? They're on the same farm. So it just depends on your perspective on how you look at that. But this is changing because it's reversed. This is about changing lanes, coming onto the same path. It's like coming from different perspectives and being more neutral about the situation, right? Staying in one lane. It's like what I saw with the masculine and the feminine was the feminine sitting on the dividing line between the masculine and feminine sides, staying in the middle, right? Staying neutral, staying at 0 point, not taking sides. Not judging yourself or others. And I was just getting too from my code line, something about going down south, right? Because going south usually has a negative connotation. I'm like getting, we're traveling, but not to a farm. Yeah, just getting, stay on path, stay in the one lane, stay neutral. Right, pack light, not the old way of packing where it weighs you down, you know, keep it light. And your prayer is very connected to higher self. So let's see what else is coming up from. You might want to write about your travels as well as coming up here. You may want to visit like Tibet as well. I would love to do that. The Holy Land for some, whatever that means to you. And I'm getting like too, between Greenland and Iceland, the farm card is telling me not Greenland, the other Greenland, right? Because Greenland is the really cold place, but Iceland is coming up. All right, let's go to the journey of love and see what comes up for us here to pull this all together. What wants to come through? So remember, it's for the masculine energy. It was love, partnership, patience, and karmic completion today. So allowing things to fade away, allowing things to die that no longer serve a purpose in your life, having patience with new love partnership, and staying optimistic and keep an open mind with true love, that this is a romance of a lifetime. So from the journey of love, what do you want us to know? It's January 21st, 2020. What is our message? Okay, we have 2 cards that came up here. A third actually wants to come out as well. The bottom of the deck is Her Grace, 17, the star. So Grace Kelly's coming up here for me. It's making me want to cry. Okay. So that's the underlying energy again. Her Grace. It's making me think of the movie last night. It's not a movie I would normally watch. And I can't even think of the name of it, but it was about a poor family and, you know, what they had to do to survive, and their mother died, and the older sister was home doing sex calls to make money. But she was, you know, a very spiritual, loving person. But this is what she had to do to get by, and then she gets her sister a job in the sex industry. And at the end of the movie, she's doing, like, you know, sex videos for people, and at the end of the movie, she really is connecting with one of her clients. And she's not supposed to connect with them, but it allows him her phone number, and the movie ends with her going out on a date with him. And she's all dressed up to go to meet him in Vegas, I guess it was. And the dress that she was wearing was one of those black dresses that was sheer in just certain places in the dress going down. And that's reminding me of this, like, right? Like it's a dress, like the belly's exposed, but everything else is covered. And this is very much in blues, but her dress was in black. But it's the energy of the elegance, the grace of even the people in the most desperate of circumstances, right? Who are selling themselves in order to survive. It doesn't matter what your station in life. Whatever you have to do to survive, you can still do it with grace, which was very profound for me coming up here. The cards that are coming up are the devotion to the small, which is 32. Right, so to take care, and that was in the movie last night, her taking care of her whole family because her mother had died, even though they were all still young. Devotion to the small, so my gnat coming up, right? To be kind to those who are much smaller than you, right? They need care. And 32 is the journey. It's also your inner child, the small. The 6 of Wands, the journeyman. The good news. The leading the way, showing by example. And watering well, right? Taking care of things. Loving them, nurturing them. We also have Cosmic Butterfly coming up, which is number 36, which is the 10 of Wands. 10 of Wands is that, you know, the weight of the world upon your shoulder, being too burdened, needing to let go, not working so hard. And then the third card that wanted to come out is 66, coming together. 66 is the Queen of Pentacles. And coming together. And I'm always reminded of a printing press here, you know, taking the paper in through the channels here. And also the red being inflamed areas of the body. Just want to see if any messages want to come up from these 3 cards together, and then I'll read them to you. There's a lot of energy about mother and child coming up together, coming up today. I mean, literally, this is mother and child, right? Taking care of the small. This is like breastfeeding. And then here even we have, it looks like a mother and child together. Even in the worst of circumstances, they're always bound to each other. The mother and child and it's making me want to cry again. It's the bond that makes you understand what it is to be one. Right? There is no end, there is no beginning. You just are enveloped in each other. In that oneness. And to be reminded of that. The beautiful colors that you paint together. And the energies of your play back and forth. And there's so much contrast in these 3 cards, right? This is just simple black and white. And this is very intricate pastel-y colors. And here's those bold and brazen reds and blues and whites and yellows and purples, more bold colors. That bond can get through any energy, thick or thin, difficult, traumatic or beautiful. It never affects how much they love each other, because they see each other clearly, whereas many, when you don't know each other that well, like a mother and child, you don't see them that way because you're not used to them being around. But we're being called to see everybody that way. So devotion to the small says she bows, she honors growth. She sees that within the smallest flower there is the teaching of the earth, the gospel of Gaia, the mystery of life demonstrated. She recognizes that she too is of nature, subject to the mysteries of growth in life, that in honoring nature and taking pleasure in life, she opens her heart to allow great creation to happen through her, just like a child. This is the feminine wisdom alive in men and women with open hearts. There is an innate wisdom within you that understands this devotion to the Earth Mother as an important step in fulfilling your destiny, your spiritual destiny on this planet. She is speaking to you now, letting you know that there is a small change happening, something that is growing within you that you may recognize but not think is so important, and yet she tells you now that it is very significant. Soon you will see that what you thought was a seed to yield a single flower is actually blossoming into a lush garden of manifestation. Gratitude and love for the small changes happening are leading you into fullness that you can only dream of. Enjoy. The message of this oracle for you is that your blossoming is occurring now, and the Earth Mother's gratitude for your presence within her being, for the work you are doing to help other human beings. She asks for you to surrender any concern you have to her, to let her creative power continue to gently guide you into your rightful place in the world, that you may shine as you were born to do, in service to the evolution of this planet. She's helping you now. Trust her. The poem reads, "A flower is a poem that tells you the truth of a thought, and the fragrance of a dream, as fleeting as a heartbeat, as lasting as a memory." The second card was the Cosmic Butterfly, which is number 36. The Cosmic Butterfly, you are being reborn from the pulsating womb of the Divine Mother. On fire with her creative power, you are being transformed whilst living. To surrender certainty in favor of openness, to accept the smallness of your everyday life whilst admitting to the magnificence of your being, to open up to the divine light that pours through you into a myriad of forms, endlessly creating, destroying, creating again. This is your sacred task. Life is thriving within you. This may not feel stable as yet, but will certainly feel exciting as you enter into yet another cycle of rebirth. Let this life seem as though you are living many lifetimes in one. It is possible for you to encounter the totality of human experience in this lifetime, should you be open to it. This is treading the enlightened path, embracing all of life. You have chosen this for yourself and been blessed with it as a possibility in this lifetime. Why not let yourself be broken down and reborn through the workings of nature? Another life within this one beckons you on now. The message for you from this oracle is that if your life feels like it's falling apart, then take heart, for it's falling apart to come back together in a new way. You're going through rebirth, just like a butterfly in a chrysalis. The agony and the delight, the sense of dying and being truly alive, can all be held in the serene space of your heart. Surrender into what you are becoming now, and know that what you are leaving behind is but a shell that once will have held your fast emerging new self. So just like the butterfly in the chrysalis, just like birthing a new child, right? You're letting go of the old. When you deliver that new child, you're no longer pregnant anymore. The breeze of the butterfly's wings caresses the stillness of my thoughts and awakens feelings that course through my veins like the whale's song to the ocean's depths. There wells in me a knowing and a wonder for what is yet to be. So you don't always have to know the answer, just know that you are and all is well. And then we have a coming together of 66, so let's read what that has to say. All right, coming together. You and another soul are coming into each other's worlds. It is a karmic destiny that's unfolding, an expression of a divine plan set in motion many lifetimes ago. That destiny may have a romantic purpose. It may have a sacredness that is sexual. It may have a sacredness that is creative and tender about learning self-esteem or courage. It may bring a gift of enduring friendship and loyalty, or be an expression of a passing flash of divine force that shakes your foundations and helps move you out of a situation which would have consumed your light with tediousness and playing small. The coming together is happening, however. Know it is of love. This oracle brings guidance. You're going to be moved by love. Whether it's long-term or fast and furious, it is love and it has meaning. Let it be what it is and do not try to force it to become what you think it must be. It has worth, as do you. Enjoy the experience and know it serves your growth. And the poem just says, two energy patterns came together and shared frequency in a field of possibilities, and there was resonance. Okay, so there are some really beautiful messages there. I'm just wondering if just wondering, Her Grace, what energy wanted to come through here, if any. So Grace Kelly was coming up, but also my my great aunt's Grace, and my mother's middle name is Grace. It was just 1 o'clock, or excuse me, 1 o'clock. It was 1 hour. Her Grace. 17, the star. To remember that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And that every human is beautiful. Okay, I think that's going to be it. I do need to show you the cards. The Seeker of Flames. The Ace of Orbs is the recent past. The Foundation is the shadow. The central energy is 6 of Cups, challenged by the 5 of Chalices or Cups. The other underlying energies, and crowning is the 7 of Cups. Scrolling across here to what's coming up is the Star. So the Star was very important today. You see that the Page of Cups there with the love and the Star, and there's the Page of Wands, which came up several times around here. I don't know where the other ones are right now, but the masculine seeing himself as the 10 of Crystals reversed, the Pentacles, and the 7 of Flames or Wands around the masculine. The Ascension was actually reversed, the World card, the blocks that he needs to clear, and then he ends up in the Bat Cave there, which is the Divine Masculine's heart, reversed, the 4 of Crystals, and then the Ace of Wands or Flames, they're reversed with the 5 of Swords upright, and then the Ace of Pentacles upright, and ending up there with the Page of Swords. Okay, and there's a little, just a sidebar there, which came out in the read. Notice the colors. So the blue, again, the throat chakra and the sacral chakra coming up as well with the silver. So the connections above the crown as well. So you might want to look into your chakra systems if you'd like. Make sure you remember to drink your water, get enough rest, get your joy, get your nature, and allow it all to come out. That try not to look forward or back, just stay present. And know that all is well, okay? And that everything is good in every moment. Rise and be loved, you guys.